our own, you know, things that we have to carry. Like as a young woman, you're taught, oh yeah, you need to get your education, you don't talk to boys, you don't do this. And then once she hits 22, they'll start asking you, where's your husband? Well, I was supposed to be able to look at boys. Before, if I look at boys, I'll get pregnant. But now all of a sudden, where's your husband? Where's your husband? So, as for women as well, if maybe you don't have that partner, you could carry a lot of burdens as well. I feel like what the doctor said before, we shouldn't have unrealistic expectations for our children. Just be happy with what they got. They got a good job, be happy for them. The husband will come, you know?
Does anyone have any more questions? Yes, Zach.
I'd like to know whether there's a link between the classes people have in society and depression.
If you want to look at society as a class society, depending on what class you're in, there will be different expectations and different pressures. So if you are, I hate using the term, but let's say you're lower class, for example, you have the pressures of poverty, of not having enough money, of overcrowding, etc., etc. If you are a higher class, you have the pressure of expectations, you know, of always having to succeed, etc., etc., or probably having a very high-powered job, or working in very long hours. So mental illness and depression cuts across class.
So is there a higher incidence of suicide among high or
Not necessarily, but there are certain professions that are associated with high suicide rate. So doctors number one, lawyers, people who work, nurses, so clinicians, people who work in industries where they have access to the means. So farmers, people who work in the entertainment industry, those who work with alcohol, so essentially it's about also having access and your general lifestyle. So for example, I routinely do 12-hour days or longer. Clearly that's not very good for my mental health.
Yeah. And there's also been something in the media more recently with the people that work in GP services. They're going to services now with depression and suicidal ideation. I think it's maybe because of the pressure that NHS is under at the moment. So a lot of people at GP services, you know, if you try to book an appointment now, it takes like 3 weeks to get an appointment. So I think maybe the pressure on them.
You're quite right there. Yeah, people working in NHS, we work under incredible pressure. Regardless of what the government says, we're expected to do more for less. And the NHS is under-resourced, so you'll find a person doing the work of maybe 3, 4, 5 people.
Yeah.
I've been told one last question.
Can we just get the woman at the back?
Yeah, just talk about NHS. I'm going to hit on, I work for Brent, so I'm a housing officer. And my stress level's gone right out the roof. Okay? So my question would be, okay, although, yes, we know that we've got to make cuts and we do have to deliver a service because our community is growing, it's very, very diverse, we know. How do we support our colleagues, our officers? You know, how, I tell you why I'm asking, because time after time we go to these meetings. I've been to a meeting with the head of our service and they're asking us about how do we feel, what do we think there are the gaps and so forth. And I'm being honest, sometimes I feel we're going back and no one's heard it. Maybe they do, because I don't know what goes on up higher. But I would like to know, how do we go higher for you to understand that, although, maybe a bit cheeky, okay, so when you bring people in to write up these, to do the consultation based on our community, okay, who's never lived in our community, how they can Google and they can pick up all the stats or whatever, but they're not on the front line. They've given us these new processes to deliver, but actually they're not there delivering it. You know, it's reality. We're struggling. I'm just saying, because we've got a new process in place now, and I am struggling. My colleagues are struggling. You know. We need some help to how to put it to them, because what I see and I hear when I ask a question, oh, well, it wasn't my decision, it was that decision.
Can I ask you a question quickly? Actually, when we were putting this event together, I spoke with a colleague. I thought she was going to be here, which is not a health person. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today because it was very last minute. He got to know about it. He had another commitment. he gave me a very startling, scary statistics. About 85% of those who are, I work in Brent Council, by the way, I work here, up Brent. If you work in Brent, up Brent. I love this borough, I love this building, I love working in Brent. So I spoke with him and he said to me, 85% of those who are referred to occupational health are actually Black, Asian and minority ethnic staff. And what is so scary is that out of those 85 staff, 85%, about 75% of them actually have mental health issues that they're not disclosing to their managers. And they keep it under lead. So you're very right, Janet, there's a lot of pressure. And it's not just with the NHS that we're doing more for less. I'm doing the work of like 4 managers at the moment. Ian can bear me witness, you can bear me witness. But the truth is, how do we support ourselves? I'm sure this is something Brent Council recognizes because Grant, he's not here. But I know that when I spoke with him, or spoke to him, we had a meeting, he was very excited about the concept of the Nous, about having something like this. And what we actually intend to do, as we move forward, as we get the fund, is actually to partner with Brent Council so that we can have opportunities like this for us to talk as staff. Support one another. And I'm also aware that we have an employee assistance program that a lot of us don't tap into. The telephone number is there, and most organizations that actually have over 50 staff, they are by law supposed to provide that to their staff. They have a telephone number that is confidential 24 hours of the day that a lot of us don't know about. Maybe we speak to HR for them to plug that number out more. But we can't answer all questions, unfortunately. It's a decision from the central local government that we can't change.
So just on the back of that, so I just would like you to start on the phone and speak to somebody already, we just need to know how, because the majority of us want to deliver the service the best that we can do, because we've got some really good officers, and I would always say that. But how do we challenge when we know actually the expectations are just too high? We haven't got the capacity to deliver some of the services of all the women in the world at the quality that they expected to also reduce the complaints that we have coming in because we're not able to deliver at that level. And I think that for myself, that's where I get stressed because I like to do my work to the best I can. I like to be structured, to make sure information's on there just in case anybody picks it up. So if there's a court case going on, you're able to make sure you get everything that you need. But I can't, and I feel, and I was talking to one of my colleagues the other day, and I feel that I'm unable to do that to a level because it's just too much. So we have to deliver. We have a lot of homeless people coming in. We've got the footfall is quite high, but how do you support us in getting it heard? Do you know what I mean? We're coming sick, so when we start becoming users of the service.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, actually, because Lani just walked out the room at the moment, right? Hazel sat in there. Okay, do you know what we've started doing now is because people are always saying there's a blockage trying to go back up to us at that level, right? And that we're not getting the information, right? So what we've started doing now is saying to staff, look, right, come to our meetings, right? Our corporate management team meetings, right? Come to our leaders briefings, our policy coordination group meetings, right? So that we can actually listen to you, right? From the front, from the cold face, as they say, right? And we have that information firsthand, right? So that and the information now, right, from myself and from Carolyn Downs, the chief executive, is look, our staff are the single biggest asset we have, right? If the staff are feeling as if that we're not supporting them, right, that they're not feeling valued, right, then there will be issues, there will be problems, and the issues around stress will come in, people going sick will come in, right, people not feeling valued will come in, and then they will start to disperse and start to leave Brent. And Brent is a great place to work, right, and we recently had the staff survey. Okay, and I'm telling you now, right, that we are systematically going through that with the unions, right, hand in hand. If you want to be involved in that, I will make sure, right, you sit in those meetings with me, right, and with the chief exec, so you can have that say, right, first hand, right, and we can filter it down. David Veal, the new HR director, right, I've had that conversation with him about making sure that the staff are feeling valued, that they're not under pressure, they're not under stress. Right, and we're taking a look at things like, why are people working so late in the evenings, right? Yeah, right? Because look, I just want you to come in and do your hours. I don't want you staying here till 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, right? And not getting paid for it, right? But the thing is, right, people are doing this because they feel pressurized, right? I want to take that pressure away because look, that work is going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there the day after. Right? If your time finishes 5 o'clock, right, I want you to go home at 5 o'clock. I don't want you. Right? If your manager is saying to you, right, why are you going home at 5? You let me know who that manager is. Because right, he's got no right, no responsibility, no duty, right, to say that to you. Right? Because he's got a duty to look after you as well. Right? And you've got your fixed hours. I want you to work your fixed hours. If I want you to work extra hours, I will pay you for those hours. That's where it stands. And it comes back to some kind of personal responsibility as well, right? And I need to know some of these things as well. Let me know, and I'll make sure you're part and parcel of the discussions. We make sure that Brent is a good place for you to work. I want you to remain in Brent. I don't want people leaving Brent. Absolutely not.
Sorry, this has been a really enjoyable session, but unfortunately we have to call it to a close now. I'm going to hand you back over to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we've had a very packed program, and I'm sure you'd all like to thank the panel for their contributions. I'm not going to say Lada, you know who Lada is. Dr. Kadiri, Ian, Sade, and Councillor Bart. However, before we actually go, I just want to ask, have any of you completed the membership forms, the various forms that have been given out? No?
The ladies in, we just hand them over to the ladies in Nous shirt.
Yeah. If anyone can collect the membership forms, please, thank you. Finally, hello. Finally, we'd just like to close the program, please, with a short speech from Councillor Sandra and Councillor Adeyemi.
Adeyemi and Councillor right. Councillor.
Hello.
Councillor Sandra.
Councillor.
I will be very brief. I am totally...
Can we have more meeting, please? Thank you.
I am totally sold to the philosophy and the approach of Nous. I am very, very impressed. I wish I'd known about you earlier. As a councillor, I do come across residents with mental health issues. And it is really very difficult as a councillor to know exactly what to do, where to refer, how to refer. People don't want to be referred, and I'm glad that these questions came up, because quite often I do come across people who do not want to be referred anywhere, or do not even realize they have a problem. So congratulations for a wonderful organization. You definitely have my support, and I'm sure you have the support of the leader. And everyone here, we continue our work together. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Councillor Aminu from Lambeth. Thank you, Lade, for inviting me to this program, and it's been an unfolding for us anyway. In Lambeth, as I've said, we actually commissioned a group of people looking into mental health within the BAE in Lambeth. So how will we deal with my colleagues? I'm working on that to explore furthermore. And as the chairman of British Nigerian Councils in the UK, our community is so big And most of the casework we pick, I pick in my advisory relates to people who have mental health issues. And there was a lady actually helped on a housing issue, and this lady has been crying for help, and nobody is listening to her until eventually she was sectioned. And because nobody wants an involvement in local democracy, because if you are not there, nobody is going to speak on your behalf. Nobody understands your culture, where you're coming from. So the more of us involved, the better, because we can influence those policies. Because on that table where you are meeting with your cabinet, that is where decision is made. For everybody here, it's our responsibility to be involved. Not everybody is going to be a councillor, but you can be a committee member, TRA chair, get involved with whatever is going on in your local area, and that is where the power is. Even at school levels as well, as a school governor, because you are making decisions about that school. And when you see a child who is going through crisis with family, you're able to pick that up, and you're able to refer them to the services that they might need. So please always get involved in your local area. And for the Nigerian community here, there's events we are organizing very soon, I think it's September 17th, which is with the Nigerian High Commission, and it's about what are the roles of elected councillors in UK, and then the role of Nigerian High Commission in terms of the service. Because, I mean, I've had a lot of social work, case work. Maybe a family children is about to be taken away and so on and so forth, and they run to the embassy. There's nothing the embassy can do for you. The only people that can help you out is your local councillors and your local area. So people need to understand the difference between elected representative here and your embassy here. What they can do, what they cannot do, and what we can do for you to help you here. This is my colleague from... she's going to speak now. And she's going to speak as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Councillor Afola Shadid Wright. I'm from the Borough of Barking and Dagenham, previously London Borough of Hackney. Wow. We've got so many titles. I'm Cabinet Member for Equalities and Cohesion, and I'm the Women Champion for the Borough. The reason why I'm here today, obviously, is of the invitation from my dear friend. Ladi and I went to school together, so we've been very, very close from when we were young. So seeing Nous as an organization, something that I have to support. So I did promise that I would be here today, even though I've had an event in the borough this morning. So just to say, I'm just here to say thank you for the support, obviously. The borough where I'm coming from, which is Barking and Dagenham, we have very, very low issues of mental health issues. And it's very low. So it's not being taken as a serious issue at the moment. But however, someone like me, I'm raising the awareness in my role as champion for women and in my role as cabinet member for equalities and cohesion, that we have a community which is predominantly BAME community, and there are these issues within this community. So it may not be prevalent in the white community, however, we do have these issues within our own community, and it needs to be raised. So that's why I'm hoping during our Black History Month in October, we'll be having Nous as an organization in Barking and Dagenham. But so anyway, also just a quick advice to women here. I remember when I was mayor in Hackney, and every time I go to the homes, I used to be mayor, and every time I go to homes or it's predominantly women in those places that have been sectioned and whatever. And why? When I ask, sometimes I go and I ask them, why are you here? Some of them, and it's about men. Yes. And to be honest, it really saddens me that we have to end, being sectioned because of men issues. So please don't allow yourself to go down that route, or don't let any man drive you. Because you know what? When you're there, they're out there with another woman. But it's true. And the children waste time after yourself, women, and as a champion for women, I'm actually telling you, look after yourself first.
Right, finally, thank you. Closing speech.
The right issues, the right things that people are concerned about that affect their communities, that affect their families, people will come out. And this is the right forum for all of us to be talking about. So some of the things, that's some of the things that impact on us. And you know, Lade, I want to say thank you for setting this up, the Nous. And this is the right forum for us to be talking about the things that impact on us. And suicide, depression, these are things, some of the things that we sometimes actually, we keep a lid on, don't we?
Yes.
Right? It's something we say we can't talk about. My friends, by doing that, right, we are making things so much more worse. Because no one knows what's impacting us, what's hurting us. By talking about it, by getting the message out there that there are support mechanisms out there, there are organisations that will help you, right? And you know what, right? We spoke about culture, we spoke about religion, and I think that's one of the two things we shouldn't actually forget as well. Because one of the things that I focus on in Brent, right, is about the community, right? And seeing you guys here today, it is about the community. Right? But it is you who has the power in your hands to make sure, right, that the people are supported. Right? So when the community comes together, you can actually make that difference. You can actually support the people. And the lady's gone now, isn't she? She's talking about her husband and the mixed-race children and everything else. Right? And how, you know, some of the barriers that she came across. My friends, right, we need to overcome some of these barriers. Right? And these barriers are cultural. Somebody was talking about genes. My friend, right, it doesn't matter about the genes. You can take the genes out. Right? You can splice the genes and everything else. But do you know what it is? It's us in this room who will make that difference. Right? So take all that rubbish out. You can do it. It makes no difference. Right? Until we change our mindsets, until we change who we are, right, nothing's going to change. So the one thing you need to take away with you today is, right, is that you are not alone, right? We are all here, we're all going to work together, we're going to make sure, right, that every person is supported and no one is left behind. Just want to say something about Lade and Nous. She was talking about making, you know, asking everyone to make sure they sign up in the membership form. I was just chatting to Tessa Arway from this CVS Friends. I don't know if you've spoken to her or not, right, but she wasn't aware of this. And she's offered to meet you, right, so that we can put you in touch with CNWL and make sure that you guys have actually the access to all the right professionals, the right organisations, and let's try to see if we can find you some of that funding as well. The funding's out there, right, so we need to tap into it. So that's my promise to you, to make sure we make sure it happens. And do you know what? And today would not have happened without the speakers we have today here. Sade,
yes.
Thank you very much. The facts and figures about the number of people who actually commit suicide, the people who are actually impacted by mental health, and the lady at the back was talking about the carers as well. Right? Don't forget about carers. We must make sure we look after them. Ian, thank you very much. People like from the council are helping us to make sure we are actually reaching out to the communities, making sure that the right services are in the right places for you as well. And Mimuna, I want to say thank you for you. I think my wife would have been happy when you were talking about the buy one get one free. because whenever I go shopping, whenever I see that buy one get one free, I have to buy it. But the thing is, it is our mindset, isn't it? It's our culture, isn't it? Right? And we are in a privileged position today. Actually, all of us here today. Right? We've got the information. We've got the connections to our communities. My friends, please. We go out there, make sure you take the message out there, right, and make sure, right, we bring all our communities, right, to the same level as that we are, right. So as I was saying, right, no one must be left behind. Thank you very much.
On that note, I'd just like you to just give a round of applause to all of our invited politicians. Give a round of applause to yourself as well. And also to Councillor Sandra. And to Councillor Ade. Councillor Ade. Thank you so much. Our next event is going to be October 10th. It's the World Mental Health Day. Okay. And we're going to host it. We're going to be hosted by Bakin and Dagina. Yay! So thank you all very much.
Okay, Leila. Oh, why were you not with us yesterday when we had the
I couldn't make it. I saw the Facebook pictures.
Yes.